Hello once again, it's Dan here in Virginia. I'm down here in my luckily air-conditioned workshop. A great place to be on this excessive heat day in Northern Virginia. What you're looking at here is my latest acquisition. It's called a Bach 342. It's an EPP plane, which is this very tough kind of a foam, EPP foam. It's from Dancing Wings Hobby. I got it from Grayson Hobby Shop, which is down near Atlanta, Georgia somewhere. Anyway, I got it together. I thought, well, hey, this got to be a real simple build. A little profile thing. How hard can it be, right? Just flimsy rubber. I'll have this together in one day. Well, no, not so easy. This thing was a pain in the butt to build. You have to, you don't have to cut anything out, but you have to glue it a lot together. So here she is. You have to glue all these spines in. I guess they're carbon fiber spines. You have to glue them in the side. You have to get the wires down in these little slots. You have to glue them all in, and you even have to glue the two halves together like this. I don't know if you can see that line on there or not. Right down along there, you have to glue them together. So anyway, it's a pain in the butt to build. I've never tried 3D flying, but I thought, well, it looks like fun. Simple little airplane, simple to build. Well, it's not simple to build. I got a feeling it's not going to be simple to fly either. So anyway, I'm going to give it a try. The plane came with these little dinky wheels on it. These things here. And you can see how small they are. I thought, man, those are way too small. And it doesn't even have, there's no tail wheel on it, just a little skid in the back. So I don't know how you're supposed to hand toss these things, I guess. Toss them in the air, but I guess you can get them to take off the ground. You just skid it on the back. So I thought, well, these little dinky wheels will never, on a grass field, will never work. So I went through my box of wheels and I found these bigger ones. And sure enough, I thought, man, those are the right size, they're nice and light, everything else, but the axle hole is way too big. So you know me, I'm always trying to think of something to fit the bill. So I look up on my pegboard over there, and what do I see? I see some fuel line hose for a weed eater. It's this stuff right here. It's 0.125 inches, 3.22 millimeter fuel line. So as I take a piece of that, snip it off, and you jam it down in the center of this wheel right here to make that hole smaller. And sure enough, you do that, pop that on there, and look at it, those wheels turn perfectly. Turn perfectly. So hopefully with these new wheels and that little fuel line shimming trick, maybe I can get this thing off the ground. It has tremendous throws. I probably ought to adjust them down more, but you give it full throttle, give it full up elevator, and with these larger wheels, it might be able to get off the ground at a full run, full power. So anyway, the little motor on it is supposedly real weak. Probably have to replace it pretty soon. Right here, you can see this it was not even down against the bell. It stuck way out. It stuck out about that far. So what I had to do is take a Dremel tool. You cut the front off the motor. You cut 5 millimeters off the motor, and then you can press the prop adapter right up against the bell of the motor. So that should keep this shaft from bending. The shaft in here is kind of goofy. It's along here, it's pretty thick, but where it goes down through the motor, it's a step cut in it. It's thinner. So anyway, probably have to replace that. But she runs on real small batteries. She runs on anything from a 1.3 milliamp hour Turnigy 1300. It'll run up to 1800. Not very big batteries. I can't imagine it gets much of a flight time. But anyway, you figure out how to put them in here. And for me, I guess I'm going to put them in like this. There's a strap they give you, and you can strap them in. I just put it in like that, and I put a little piece of rubber behind it, and then there's two weights. I got two weights there. I'll talk about that in a minute. Come over here, This is not the strap that came with it. It's a little short, but you take that and you just pull it up like this. Come down. I had to cut this strap off, tuck it under. Okay, now the battery's in there. That just keeps it from falling out. A little piece of rubber will keep it from going fore and aft. That should hold just fine. So you get that in there like that, and then you have to balance this thing. You balance this thing at 85 millimeters from the leading edge of the wing. So I did that with my handy dandy center of gravity gauge. But you know, on these kind of airplanes, do you balance this thing right side up, or do you balance this thing upside down? Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to balance either way. So I balanced it both ways. You see I got the marks on here. 85 millimeters on the top. On the bottom, I've got the, you have to look at there, I put these little door stoppers I like to use. One there, same thing, 85 millimeters. The reason those little door stoppers to work even better if they're round, when you go to the field, you put your fingers on those door stoppers, and then you get the balance on your fingers a little easier. So that's a trick you might try if you haven't done it. Use the rubber bumpers for your CG. Anyway, this is 85 millimeters back. So in order to do that, you had to add a tremendous amount of weight. I guess you can see them here. These are Harbor Freight weights. I like to use them. They stick on. They're 1/4 ounce or 7 millimeter. They're clearly marked. So I got 1, 2. I got 2 in here, 3, 4. And I got 1 in the front, right on the very nose, and 2 more over here. 2 more over here. So that's about 47 grams of weight to get this thing to balance out right on those things. And believe me, it balances right out. And it won't set on the sticks, the balancing sticks, but it'll teeter-totter back and forth just perfectly. So we'll see how that goes. I'll give it a try and see what happens. So I don't know what else to say. It's EPP. You give it a toss. Oh, this motor probably have to be replaced. I guess I mentioned that. It runs a 10.7 prop. The motor is about 900 kV. Yeah, 900 kV motor. So should be fun. I can't imagine that. You know, as long as I can get it to fly, just around the pattern and so forth. I don't know. I hope someday, if I last long enough, maybe I can get it to do a knife edge, or maybe to do a hover in it. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, it should be. Oh, I'll tell you what though. This thing, I had trouble with the servo right out of the box. This servo, you get 2 of these servos back here. Right out of the box. They go right here. And this is a pain in the butt. These things right here, you have to add extra little sheet. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's an extra arm, little fiberglass. You got to screw it onto the servo arm with these 2 little screws. Well, those 2 little screws are actually cowling screws, what you need, and they don't give them to you. So you got to scrounge around and get your own screws. They don't even provide them. Once you get that done, but this servo in the back here, this particular one, it has from here to the front to the ESC, takes a 26-inch lead. Well, you know, most servos come with a little 6 or 8-inch lead at the most. So I called Grayson Hobby, and they said, oh, yeah, you gotta go on our website, fill out a form, yada yada yada. So I did all that, and I haven't heard from them since. That's 5 days ago. They said, oh, we'll get right back with you. Well, I've had this problem with Grayson Hobby in the past. So anyway, don't count on their customer service. So what I did, I got my own. I cut these were bad. This thing just jittered like crazy right out of the box. It had the shakes. So I cut the wire off it, had to splice it onto a normal one. Had a shorter wire, had to splice it together, solder it all up. Try to get it down in that hole. I couldn't get it down in the slot, so I just, good old foam tack, I just stuck it on the side, glued it on the side. So, so that's it. The Bach 342. The reason I'm interested in this plane because of my simulator I fly on my computer has a Bach 342. I'll tell you what, I can make that one on the computer do about anything. This one, I'm probably not. So we'll see, we'll give it a try. I shouldn't have any trouble with the radio reception. The receiver goes right here. The receiver right here, and I just put the antenna on the side there, so shouldn't be any problem with the radio reception. So I'm waiting for a cool day here. Take her out. Maybe I'll get one of my buddies to toss it in the air. There's another guy there, he can fly about anything. I may even ask him to maiden it for me, just to see if it survives the first flight. So anyway, that's the Bach 342. If you want something to play with, it's not an easy build. It was a little tough for me, but anyway, it should be fun to play with. We'll give you a report later. Out here.